this I believe. I believe I have always been good at making connections with my students and fostering a positive learning environment. Students are respectful to one another and are not afraid to try new things. However, through the past few weeks, my eyes have opened to the idea that I may not be meeting the needs of all of my students. I believe each of my students learns best in a different way, and it is unfair to think of them as a whole rather than individuals. I need to evaluate my lessons and see if I am best fitting the needs of all of my students. Universal Design for Learning encourages us to really evaluate our lessons. Are the lessons flexible in use to meet the wide range of student abilities and interests? Do we allow a tolerance for error where our students can receive useful feedback to help guide them in the right direction? Are they simple and intuitive to use? We don't need to put on a grand performance and a show for our students every single day. We just need to find ways to engage all learners and ways for them to all participate and learn. I believe tackling prior knowledge is a vital step all teachers need to take. We need to evaluate the incoming information our students bring with them and see where the misconceptions lie. It is important to face the misconceptions head on rather than ignore them, because otherwise students may revert back to their old method of thinking. I believe we need to encourage our students to think about their own learning and thinking. These metacognition skills will allow students to reflect on their understanding and allow them to become more independent. Students will be able to evaluate their learning and identify areas in which they can improve. I believe inquiry is a very powerful tool that doesn't only belong in a science class. Inquiry allows students to make meaningful connections to the content and teaches them that learning is more about the process than finding one single solution. It's a marathon, not a race. I believe technology should have a meaningful purpose in the classroom. Don't use it just for the sake of using it. We need to stop and evaluate if the tools we are using truly enhance student learning. There are a lot of great tools out there, but they aren't effective if you aren't using them correctly. Think about the affordances and constraints of the tools before you try them in your classroom. I believe TPAC offers a strong foundation for my teaching philosophy. I need to find ways in which technology enhances the way students are viewing information. It should naturally fit into my teaching style and allow for greater engagement among my students. I believe the internet is enhancing the way we think. We have instant access to an infinite amount of information and are able to connect with people around the globe. I believe new literacy strategies will need to be taught so our students are able to process the information they find on the World Wide Web. The text is no longer linear, but rather contains a lot of graphics and hyperlinks that can be distracting if the students are unprepared. I believe everyone should be taught the morals and ethics of the internet and develop a positive digital citizenship. The internet should be used for good, not for evil. I believe we are in the middle of a digital revolution. Our students have been born into this revolution and fit well into the lifestyle. It just comes naturally to them. As teachers, we need to stay connected and continue to seek out new strategies and ways to integrate technology into our classrooms. I believe I have established a solid personal learning network, or PLN, that supports my technological endeavors. I can look to my PLN for new ideas or resources to check out. My PLN is a great way to get feedback or collaborate with one another to reach a goal. I believe we are only at the tip of the technology iceberg. I cannot wait to see how technology will continue to evolve and look forward to expanding my knowledge to further enhance my classroom.